I just came from outside. I'm like, okay. See if the lighting's bad if I do it this way. But ooh, this looks 10 times nicer. Okay. So my name's Kelly. I invest in the stock market. You may know me from TikTok. You may know me from Twitter. You may know me from Instagram. Either way, I love to provide content that deals with the stock market. I am absolutely in love with the stock market, just finances and all of that in general. So I'm here today to really just kind of tell you my story. I figured that would be the best way to just start out my YouTube channel because I think it's long overdue and I want to provide as much content as possible. Really, for me, it's not about the money. Simply about the reach. I think everyone should be investing. Like, and I've always been investing. I've been investing for over 2 years, but just, I just, to see the way it's blessed my life and then the people around me that I've also been able to help, it's insane. And I'm just like, dude, everyone should be investing. There are risks, yes. There are pros, yes. There are cons, yes. But for me, the pros severely outweigh the cons. And, you know, as long as you have proper risk management, as long as you're doing proper due diligence, as long as you're really finding good catalysts, you know, doing technical analysis, it's not going to be easy, but nothing worth achieving and nothing worth working for is easy. There's some in my hair. But yeah, so I'm going to just get right straight into it. So I was a sophomore in high school, and my school, every single Friday, they would do this thing called Cookie Friday. I don't know what they called it, but every Friday they had cookies for $1. Best believe your girl was there trying to get her cookies for $1, but I had no dollars. So I was that annoying person that would walk around the cafeteria and be like, you got $1? You got $1? You got a... Essentially, I was similar to where my hug at? Or, you know that guy from Everybody Hates Chris who's always asking, you know, for $1?
Hey, little dude from across the street. Let me hold $1.
Yeah, that was me. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. But yeah, so that's essentially what I was doing. That's essentially what was happening. It wasn't cute. It wasn't cute. But I remember my friend, she always had money on her. And I was like, dude, how do you always have money on you? She was like, well, my mom told me that a woman should never leave the house with less than $20 in her wallet. And I was like, oh, okay, Miss Rich. Okay, Bala. But I remember, like, at the time, that just, like, absolutely just shocked me. I was like, wait, $20 to me at the time sounded like $2,000. It sounded like $100. It was so much money because I was, you know, editing videos for like $3. So like to have 20 and that's every time we leave the house, I was like, dang, I'm gonna start taking out the trash. I'm gonna start walking outside. Like I'm gonna go walks every day. I'm gonna get rich off my mom. Like if I was her, that's what I was thinking. But that's not how it worked. And at least not for me. And so I just remember thinking, I need to find a way to make money. So I went to my parents and I was like, hey, yo, so what do you think about your girl getting a job? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh. So that's where, like, I wouldn't call it a love for money, but just my love for finding different sources of income came from. Because essentially what it all boiled down to was I just want $1. I just want a cookie on Fridays. I want to be able to just casually drop a cookie. I want to be able to go out to eat. I hated asking my parents for money. I hated that. So I was like, you know what? If I can't get a job, I'm going to have to figure out a way to make money. So I go on YouTube and I search up how to make money online. Okay. So it came up with day trading. A lot of people were saying day trading. People were becoming like millionaires off of day trading. I was like, what is day trading? And then boom, the stock market. And I was like, dude, I need to learn stocks. Like, why wouldn't I learn stocks? And I tried to learn it. I would watch videos like how to learn day trading in a week, day trading for beginners. And it was like reading a foreign language. I was truly trying to understand Braille. And it just wasn't working out for me. And then one thing that I've learned in life that I was trying to do, if you come in with a how to get this in the fastest way possible, you've already set yourself up for failure. So like, I've had people that reach out to me and they're like, hey, Kelly, how quick do you think I can learn options trading? Because that's, you know, what I do. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna give you an answer for that because you've already decided in your head that you wanna be unsuccessful. You've already decided that you want to get rich quick scheme. You want to do the least amount of work possible in the least amount of time possible to get the same results as someone who is putting their all into it. And I'm not going to give you the answer for that. I'm not going to help you with that type of mindset. So after that, I really started to learn the stock market like consistently. Like it wasn't even like I just dabbled. No, I was trying for a whole year, just watching stock market videos, watching videos of entrepreneurs, of people who were successful, watching investing videos. And, you know, cause I was like, I really have to get this down. Like, and then, you know, at the time I was getting bullied in school. And, you know, I feel like everyone always has a bullied story, but it's the truth. You know, I had a lot of people attacking me at the basketball team I was on. They didn't like me. So I wasn't enjoying my time. I actually had to end up switching schools because of that reason. But yeah, I remember just thinking like, I'm gonna get rich and I'm gonna boss up on everybody. Like, I'm gonna be so great. I'm gonna be so good, you know? They all gonna be like, dang, I wish we were nicer to Kelly. Like, I'm gonna make y'all pay. And it wasn't even about rich, actually. It was actually just success. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be better than every single person that ever put me down and made me feel like I was worse. That's where the love of it and the drive actually started. And so I just learned the market, not even because it was now I want to be successful, but I learned the market because I realized I need this as a form of wealth, like whether it's today or in the future. So essentially, like for me, that's kind of where everything started. And so then what happened was my high school, right? They had a career school, and it's kind of like where you can go, like if you want to be an engineer, you can do engineering classes. If you want to be in the medical field, you can do medical, you know, classes. You can be a CNA, you know, stuff like that. And sorry about that. So for me, I thought I really loved houses. I love houses. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do architecture. And that should have been when I knew that architecture was not for me. It should have been, but it wasn't. I took an architecture class for the first semester and I didn't really take it serious because I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like being in front of a computer all day, like just in front of a screen. You're not really talking to anybody. You're not really interacting with anyone. You're just kind of building, and I didn't like that. I'm a fairly outgoing person. I mean, I'm a little shy at first, but I want to help people, and I've always known my purpose in life is just to help people. It's to help them be successful. It's that my success is not for me. My success is for me to bless other people. And I've always known that, you know, just as like a gift from God. Another thing about me is I like to defy the norm. So, you know, most women are into hair care, nail care, skin care, you know, just the beauties. Like that beauty sector, we dominate. But we are so proficient and so efficient that I feel like we could do more. And I always thought it was an issue, right? If there has to be a Girls Who Code scholarship, if there has to be, you know, like engineering companies reaching out and saying, hey, we're looking for women who are computer scientists. We have high paying jobs that we want to offer you because nobody is doing it. But I'm the type of person who I want to be able to do what most people can't do. And I want to prove that I can do this. Just because you say I can't, I'm gonna make sure I do, and I will. So when it came to finance, and when it came to coding, I was like, I wanna learn coding because a lot of girls don't know how to code, but soon learned, again, sitting in front of a laptop, constantly on the computer, you're barely interacting, it's a lot of independent work. I was like, keep it, it's not for me. So then my second option was a stock market class. And I was like, yes. Like, I've always known I wanted to do finances. I love math, I love numbers. And, you know, who doesn't love money? Not selfishly loving money, but just you love money because, you know, it's great. It's just great. So I joined the class. I just gotta say that was the greatest class I've ever joined. The greatest. My teacher was a millionaire off the stock. However, my teacher would not like me now because I'm an options trader, okay? And I trade options in the stock market. And one thing about her is she liked long-term investing. You just buy shares, you just let them grow. And me, she didn't like traders, right? She didn't like that. Because off the rip, you're told by people who are primarily long-term investors that trading is very risky, that you can lose everything. And I'm like, ooh, there are ways around this. There are so many ways around the risky aspect of trading. I really don't think trading is risky at all. I mean, there's risk to everything that you do. And there's definitely risk to trading in terms of, you know, how much you can lose, but there's ways around that. You know, there's reasons people are millionaires and 6-figure-naires and 5-figure-naires and 4-figure-naires off trading. Yeah, so the class was great. It taught me a lot. It taught me that finishing layer of what I needed to know. I had $200 in my bank account, okay? And this was mainly an allowance money, but, you know, 'cause I didn't have a job. But my brother, he would come to me, or he came to me one day and he was like, have you heard of NIO? I was like, what the heck is NIO? And he was like, NIO's like Tesla's rival. They created the fastest electric car in the world. They're a Chinese company. They're just newly emerging. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Tesla's rival. Sounds kind of juicy. So this is back in 2018 or 2019. I can't quite remember. But I searched them up. I think it was 2019. Yeah, and they recently IPO'd. And they IPO'd like $12 or $9. But they were at $9 when I was looking at them. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a steal. You know, most people, if they saw an IPO at 12 and they saw it was now at 9, they'd be like, you know what, let me stay away from this, it's dipping. But me, I always see a buying opportunity, always. Because you have to think long-term on a lot of things, especially stocks. And so I was like, this is steal. I was telling my mom, get in, get in, get in. She was like, I don't know about that investing stuff. You know, my friend did it, it's super risky. They say you can lose all your money, you know. And I was like, okay. But I was really determined. So I was begging my sister. I was like, can you please open up a Robinhood account? I need to invest. Like, can you please keep it? I was begging her. And she eventually did. And when she did, I put $50 into NIO at about $5. NIO had dipped even more. And most people would be like, it IPO'd at 12. You saw it at 9. It's now at 5. Why are you still messing with it? Like, this thing is only going down. And I was like, I believe in this company. Like, too many good characteristics about it. And then they had a NIO day in June and I was just pumped. I was like, just wait till June, bro. This thing gonna skyrocket. Y'all all gonna look dumb because you're gonna make fun of me for laughing at $5. This thing kept going down and down and down. It was at a point where it was at $1 for like, when that NIO day came, nothing happened. The stock then drops to $1 and it's sitting at $1 for about a year or so. And I'm like, okay, okay. Nothing happened. And there were so many times where I was just so down bad and broke that I was gonna go pull it out. But then I saw my 50 was like a 25 or it'd be like 13. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to sell this thing for low. I came in with 50. I'm not coming in with anything less than 50 or coming out with anything less than 50. So that's when like I just made that decision. And yeah, what basically happens is we're in a pandemic, a global pandemic, and my friend is making like 40K a month. He's 19 years old. And if he sees this video, shout out to him. You really put me on and I talk about you all the time. But I'm like, dude, how is this dude making so much money? Like, people's salaries in a month, that is insane. And, you know, I go and, you know, I'm looking through his social media. I'm really stalking, okay? Because it's not that I didn't want to directly ask, but we weren't close. Like, he became my friend really after options. Like, we were cool, but we weren't really like cool like that. But yeah, I was looking through his social medias and I noticed he said something about this thing just doesn't want to stay. But I noticed he said something about how he did options trading, or someone put him on options. I was like, dude, that's it. Options trading in the stock market. Okay, let me figure out what this is. So I went and watched a B has a video, and it was called like, I traded options for a week, and he made like $700 from $100 in a week. And I was like, oh, this thing is too easy. There's no way it's too good to be true. There's no way. So, okay, I was like, that's great. And then from there, I then made the decision like, okay, I'm gonna learn what this is, but I didn't actually learn. I just went and applied it. So at this point, I have like $400 in my bank account. I put $200 into Microsoft, and this is when they're in talks to buy TikTok after, you know, Donald Trump was trying to ban it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is gold. This is a great catalyst, you know? They're gonna buy TikTok, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make a bunch of money and I'm gonna just pull out. So I'm gonna put this $200 in there, go ahead. And then I went into Gap as well, because Gap had just like talked about how they're starting a Yeezy collection. What I didn't realize is the rumor has already passed. So you buy the rumor, sell the news, and the rumor already passed. The rumor is where you buy. And then that thing will consolidate or something for a while. In conclusion, I lost everything because I didn't know what options really were. I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know how to cut losses. I didn't know proper risk management. I just thought you put it in. I didn't know you could actually pull out your money prematurely. Then I had too much faith in something that wasn't going to go through, especially like a merger that doesn't happen overnight. When rumors come out, you think a company is just gonna come to agreements in a week. Kelly, be for real. But yeah, so then I took the time away from it, got back into e-commerce, which y'all probably hear my e-commerce story at a later time because I don't want this video to be too long. But got back into e-commerce and it wasn't doing me too great. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back into options. This has to work because my friend is still here making money. I'm like, dude, this has to work. Okay, this is where the story starts. Sit down, I'm going to tell the story. Now some water, because one thing is, I'm not sponsored. Whoa, I'm gonna just drink some. We're good. So yeah, so this is in October. Now reached the point where my finances were out of control. I wasn't keeping track of them. I wasn't doing what I needed to do. So one day, I just get an alert from my bank and it's like, oh, your bank account is below $25. And I was like, okay. So then I go look at my bank account and it's like negative 23 bucks. And I was like, dude, what? What? I was really discouraged because I was really actually trying at that time. And the thing is, I had started my first year of college. And I was really like sad. I was in, I wouldn't say a depressed state, but I was very sad every day. I was very like, my priorities weren't straight. I was in a major, I was in architecture. I went back, and I didn't like it. I knew it wasn't for me. And the thing that they would do is they base like your creativity. And I wasn't a very artistically talented person. So whenever they judge me or grade me, I guess I'd always fail. And it was just like really, it was depressing, but I will admit I was not depressed, but I was very upset. I was very sad. I'd have a lot of down days. It's just kind of how it was. So essentially what happened next is I was like, rather than get discouraged, I said, you know what, this is going to be the beginning of my success story. And it very much so was the beginning of my success story. So I picked up my phone, and instead of being like real upset, I laughed it off. And I was like, you know what? I'm taking a screenshot of this and I'm gonna come back in 6 months and let's see where we are. We're going to recoup. We're gonna see exactly where we are. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm still gonna do this for me. So I really took the time to study options trading, and it was really easy for me because I already knew the stock market. Remember, I did like 2 years of research on this thing. I was already invested in NEO and, you know, a couple other stocks. Nothing too pretty, nothing too crazy. I wasn't the richest person on the planet. But I also invested in a little bit of some, mainly NEO though, mainly those, what was like 10 shares I had, which I wish I bought $50 worth at $1 because I would have 50 shares, but it is what it is. And this is when I'm down bad, I'm broke. Okay, I have no money. I'm literally negative in my account. And I start to see NEO starts to run. And I'm like, hold on, let me check my stocks. And that $50 was now worth like 200, 300, 400. I was like, huh? yo. But I knew I wasn't gonna pull it out because I'm so long-term. And the second I sell, I lose that beautiful $5 entry point. So I wasn't gonna sell it. And I knew I wasn't, but it was just so beautiful. And I was like, you know I have money, but I don't even have enough money to buy an iPhone. Like, I don't have money for real. So I was like, okay, well, let me go learn this options trading thing. So I took the time to really learn. Remember, I invested the NEO shares on my sister's account. I could create an account when I was 18. And I was like, this is gonna be my options trading account. So what I did was I'd actually put $50 in there and I had no idea. I was just sitting in there. So I go to Robinhood and I see the 50 and I'm like, I need that money. Like, I don't care the fact it's only gonna be worth 25 bucks when I put it in my bank account because I have to pay off the negative, but I need that 50. So I go in and dude, so I invested in Robinhood, but I never with the intent had the money to pull out because it was all long-term, you know, because everyone learns long-term. So I didn't know how to pull it out because I was not ready to pull it out. Like, and that's like with my Neo, but the $50, I didn't know how to pull it out because I never withdrew money from Robinhood. So I was like, you know what? Maybe Robinhood is rigged. Maybe they stealing from me and they just took my money. Oh well, I'm gonna invest it and I'll figure it out another time. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this a challenge to myself. You're gonna take this $50 and you're gonna flip it. And you are going to do that, Kelly. So that's when I was like, I'm going to learn options and I'm gonna figure it out. We're now in November, okay? And Biden has just recently won presidency. We're in this huge, won the election. We're in this huge EV bubble. So every single electric vehicle or solar or energy company is just booming. Everything's going up. And that's why my Neo was so high up, because Neo was now worth like $45. Remember, I bought it at 5. So we're talking to 40 times 10. So I'm up like $400 in profit. It's crazy from that $50 I invested. I was like, hey, we're in a giant EV bubble. And I'm like, dude, all you gotta do is just play the trend. So I'm looking at EV companies, every single EV, because I'm invested in an EV company. Tesla's up, Neo's up, Xpev's up, Li Auto's up, and I'm like, okay. So I start searching up EV companies, and I find one called Solo. So they have like this one-seater car. It's not cute at all. I wasn't planning to invest in this long-term. I just didn't believe in it. But I was like, hey, I'm gonna ride the hype, because this one doesn't look like it's exploded yet. It was only like $3. I went and I bought a $3 or $5 call. I don't remember, but it was right above what its current share price was. And I think I can actually find it. Okay, so I found it. Sorry, I was reading my Discord chat, but it was a $3.50 call, and I think it was like at $3. So I just bought it. It was only $26, and I had $50. So I used 26, that's about half. I was gonna buy 2 contracts, but I couldn't afford it. So I just bought one, and I did not expect Solo to run the way it did. And that thing ran. So it ran from like $3 to like $7. And I was up, as you can see, 1,400%. And that in total was, I turned that $26 into $364. My total equity was $390. And one thing I actually have never told people, I turned 26 into 400, but I panic sold. So this is something I've never told, like when I told the story, I've never told people this. But yeah, so I turned the 26 into 400, but I panic sold on a minor morning sell-off. Market had only been open a couple minutes, and it's because I was in a trading group, right? I had joined a trading group, and they were like, oh, you know, be careful of data decay, your expiration soon, you might want to sell it. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So I actually ended up selling it for, I believe, like 190, so like $200. So it's whatever, because I took that 200 and then I flipped it. And I then put that 200 into this company called Fuel Cell. From Fuel Cell, I put it into Veil. I'm trying to recall these, but I just kept playing the hype, playing the upcoming catalyst. Like, I had very strategic plans into why I was investing, really good catalyst, and then I played according to it, and always bought in the money. I was just striking gold. I just turned that 26 into like 200, and then I kept flipping that. I kept putting into companies, and it was like tiny investment. With Veil, I turned $40 into like 400. With Fuel Cell, I turned like a little less than 200 that I used for my profits into 800 to 900. And then my greatest of it all though was Riot blockchain. And let me tell you my mindset on this one. So with Riot, right, I saw an article and it was like, Bitcoin is projected to hit $100,000 by the end of 2021. Bitcoin at the time was like 17,000. And I was like, that is insane, but I'm gonna roll with it. So I'm searching up top Bitcoin related companies, and I see Riot blockchain and Marathon Patent Group, which is now Marathon Digital Holdings. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take all my profit and I'm gonna invest in these two. this is around Christmas time, but Riot, I bought a leap. So I said, if Bitcoin's supposed to go to $100,000 by 2020, at the end of 2021, I'm just gonna buy an expiration for 2022, and I'm just gonna ride it through 2021. And this is probably my biggest win. Riot cost me $295, and it turned me about $7,000. Like, I made about $7,000 from that $295. And now, you know, I've surpassed my portfolio because Riot really like was holding my portfolio. So I bought a $295, and then, you know, when Riot dipped, I bought another, it was another $15 call. So I have two $15 calls, one for 2022, one for June. And that was about 800. And then I bought a third one. It was just a weekly because Riot was rallying. This is after Bitcoin starts rallying. And in total, I turned about $1,000 into $15,000. And then, you know, and this is after, you know, I went on TikTok, because remember I told you I turned, oh, I don't think I said that. So rewind, I turned that 26 into $3,000 within 2 weeks. Just from, you know, different strategies that I was using, mainly the same strategy. And I was like, yo, rather options trading is just this nice to everybody, or I'm really good. I think it's both, honestly. Definitely was a great feeling to just see how in, you know, a month I was able to just really transform my situation, because I really applied myself and I was really studying. Like, I was staying up late at night, like till 5 a.m., you know, really trying to study options in the market. It wasn't just, you know, for like 2 hours a day. You know, I was up all day. And then doing market research, doing stock research. I mean, I was looking. I just had this drive in me that I was gonna succeed. So after this, I was like, you know what? You know, and I was helping people at this time. I was helping my friends for free, and I was just posting on social media. And I was like, hey, you know, I'll help you get started. You can take my plays if you want. I can let you know exactly what I'm getting into, like, no problem. Nobody was serious. And it's cool. So eventually, though, there were a few people that were serious. So the people that I was helping, there was a lot of them. And it was to the point where, like, I just couldn't respond to everyone in time. So I'd be like, I'm getting into this, and what about this? And then we're just going message to message. And then eventually someone was like, Kelly, you should make a group. And I was like, whoa, I don't think I'm coded up for a group. Hold on. But I just kept, you know, really being able to make profit with these plays, and I was helping other people make profit. And one of my friends, I think I helped her turn $80 into like 500 on one play, and it was a play I took, and I was like, yo, I'm good at this. And then multiple people, I was helping them make a lot of money. And I was like, dude, you know, I'm good. And one of my friends, he just kept urging me, make a group. And I didn't want to make a group for a number of reasons. But I eventually just did it. I was like, okay, I'm just going to use it to educate people. And, you know, I'll drop my plays, and if they want to take it, they can take it. People personally asked me for help, and I had no problem helping them. But it sucks when you're on the phone with someone for hours, and then you're constantly texting them, and they're not texting back. You realize, oh my gosh, I wasted my time. Like, this is time I could have been using to do market research. This is time I could have been using to do stock research, and you wasted my time. And it really irritates me. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm charging for my plays. I'm charging for my time, simply because people aren't taking it seriously, and can't keep doing this for free. What had happened was I decided to take a leap of faith. And in doing so, I said, you know what? I knew I always wanted to make a TikTok, but I thought my TikTok would be on like relationship advice. But there was one day I was scrolling on TikTok, right? Just, you know, scrolling. And I see this girl, and she's like, hey, you know, I made 20K off Tesla or something like that. And she had like a ton of Tesla shares. You know, Tesla ran up, she made a ton of money. And I saw everyone in the comments, and they're like, I really want to learn the stock market, but guys always mansplain it to me, and no girls doing this. And I was like, dude, I'm killing the stock market right now. I can help. But I was just a little scared of what the people that I knew in person would think about me. So like, I was kind of nervous to even make a TikTok about it, because I was like, if I make a TikTok about this and it doesn't blow up, this is gonna be really awkward. I'm probably gonna be like, who is this fake guru? Kelly, shut up, nobody cares, you're probably part of an MLM. Like, no, I was doing this, and I really wanted to help people, because I wanted them to join the group and be able to learn. Remember, the group was free. So I just posted it, and I mean, immediately it was blowing up. The group was getting spammed. We were growing so large. And I was just like, this is insane. Like, this is crazy. I had tremendous growth. I think in 1 month or 2 months, I hit 100K followers on TikTok, and I was like, wow. And then the group had like 7,000 members. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is insane. And then eventually, like, there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of people who aren't serious, there's a lot of spammers, there's a lot of trolls. So we had to make the group paid. And, you know, because the thing is, as much as people want to argue, if you're so good at it, why would you charge? I'm not charging because, oh, I want the extra pocket or the extra profit in my pockets. I'm charging because I'm taking the time out of my day, and it was becoming a full-time job. I mean, constantly my computer helping people, constantly answering DMs and stuff. I was like, wow, that's taking up a lot of my time. And so I charged because time is money. And I was using a lot of my time, and I don't mind it being free, but I'm not gonna be as serious if I'm not charging. I'm just gonna put it out there. And people aren't gonna be as serious if they're not paying. Because YouTube University is free, and you can learn so much on YouTube, but people just don't have the discipline to go and actually do it because they know it'll always be there. But when you know, okay, I paid X amount of dollars to learn this thing, and I have 1 month to utilize my money, well, I better utilize this month to my best potential. And if I like it, you know, I'll stay longer if I make a return, like if I feel like it's worth the money. But yeah, so people will take it. It's just like with college. You're gonna take your classes seriously because you know if you fail that class, you just wasted thousands of dollars. But if it's free, you're not really gonna care that much. There's no loss to it. But you know, one thing people don't understand is when you have hundreds of thousands of people watching you, not everyone has the best intentions. And so people have asked, okay, Kelly, why don't you show your portfolio number? I'm like, it's nothing to do with me like not being honest or not being transparent. It's to do with my protection. I don't know what these people have out for me. And I, honestly, from the jump, I was really scared to tell people how much I was making because I'm like, oh, you know, I don't know if people know. Because I know people in real life who have met me and they're like, oh my gosh, I know you from TikTok. And I'm like, oh, hey. And it's like, they know where I live. And I don't like to tell people where I live because there are people who, you know, unfortunately, they don't have all that they need in life, and I'm a target. You know, I have money. They know I have money. So for me, that's just kind of what it is. And I know I have no obligation to tell anyone anything. You know, at the end of the day, I'm an e-learning platform. And I'm doing it to teach you exactly how to be profitable with a bunch of my admins, you know, my team that is also doing the exact same thing, trying to help you be profitable. And they're very profitable people. They're 5-6 figure traders and high 6-figure traders. But with that being said, if you would like to join my group, the link is in the description. We teach you everything. We have weekly webinars. We have daily stock talks where we talk about the chats. We have weekend stock talks. I mean, we help you with it all. We help you with technical analysis. Like, we walk you through it. We teach you. We have homework for you to do on this. We help you with the stock market. We help you learn options trading. I mean, we really break it down. We have a live support team. Mind you, this is a team I've put together. People who are knowledgeable, and the admins are incredibly knowledgeable. People who just know the market, who know what they're doing. The real value you're getting is in the education, it's in the knowledge. Because people will say, just go learn on YouTube, which by all means, you can learn on YouTube. I personally didn't learn on YouTube. I was talking to my friend and I joined a trading group. My friend who made like 40K a month. The thing about YouTube is you don't have anyone checking your mistakes. You don't have anyone critiquing you. You don't have anyone helping you when you make a mistake. And you're like, hey, why am I losing money on this trade? You don't have anyone there like, oh, look at your Greeks, you know, like, you know, you don't have people like that. And so with a group, you do have that, you know. So that's pretty much it. That's my story. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't talk too much. I think I do. But yeah, so, yep.